Okay, I couldn't hold back, but I do want to insert a quote by Sharon. Apparently, Sharon was not a religious Jew. He was a secular Jew, okay? But years ago, when Sharon was in what we call the heydays, okay, the newspaper Haaretz one time stepped into his in front of him and asked him, Sharon, why do you always defend the religious Jews? You always go into the what we call the Yehuda Shomron, to all those communities, and you want to build those communities. What's wrong with you? Sharon quoted, and that's Sharon quote. And he told them, listen, I have to do something in order to defend the religious community. I have kids. I don't know what's going to be with my kids in 10, 20, 25 years from now. But I can surely tell you what's going to be with the religious community in 500 years from now.
Yeah. Well, I
quoted by Sharon in the newspaper Haaretz.
Well, it brings to mind one of the great benefactors of the previous generation, who used to give a lot of money for charity for different institutions. And he was not religious himself, but he gave his money to very religious organizations, all the girls' schools and the boys' schools and Hasidic schools. And they said to him, what are you doing that for? You're not religious yourself. I think you should give money to Bar Ilan, to Hebrew University, to all these. Why are you giving to religious schools? And he said the same thing. What's going to do future? I know these generations are going to keep Judaism going. Those other places, they'll be assimilated. The next one or two generations, they'll be assimilated. They won't even be Jews anymore. We want to keep these religious organizations, these institutions of Judaism, of learning, of Torah. They're the future of Jewish people. The ones who are not religious, they're disappearing. They're assimilating, intermarrying, and there won't be anything left of them in the future. I want to put my money where Judaism is going to stay, not where it's going to be destroyed.
Right.
So.
What's happening to Netanyahu's son?
Yeah. When you go to Yad Vashem and you see what's going on over there, I mentioned this before. It's very frightening to see what happened to the Jewish people. But how do you build up the Jewish people? Some people think by making museums and making all kinds of different memories of the Holocaust studies, all nice and good, but that's not what's going to keep the Jews. But having a lot of children, having families, building up Jewish, the 6 million that were killed, and we want to have replacement for them. That's we want to have big families, not 1 or 2 kids in a family, and people want to have their own life, but have big families. Like a lot of religious people are having big families because they're replacing that was destroyed during the war. Having Torah study, that's what was destroyed by the Germans. That the real major steps in preserving the Jewish religion, Jewish nation. But just museums and all these things are very nice, but that's not what's going to build Judaism. People and Judaism, that's going to keep the Jewish people forever, for eternity.